Get ready to dive into stories that go beyond the ordinary. I created this channel to challenge your imagination and give you a front row seat to compelling, advanced narratives. To keep these stories coming, please subscribe, like, and share with others who love this great story. Title: Arrogant Peak Little God's Sovereign.
Lin Moyu was the first to sense it, followed by Lin Mohan, and then the others. In the sky thousands of miles away, a dark cloud was rolling in with overwhelming pressure. God Sovereign? Lin Moyu vaguely sensed the aura of a God Sovereign, but it was somewhat ambiguous. Xu Jianxing said, "It's not a God Sovereign, it's a peak little God Sovereign, with 1 foot already in the Lost Star River but not fully in, so not a true God Sovereign. Can it be done this way? After a little God Sovereign reaches perfection, their soul enters the Lost Star River, receives its baptism, and gains its recognition, thus becoming a God Sovereign. At that time, they can roam the Lost Star River, harness its power, and their combat strength far exceeds that of a little God Sovereign. But he only put 1 foot into the Lost Star River, receiving part of its baptism. In this way, he cannot harness the power of the Lost Star River. Although slightly stronger than a little God Sovereign, the increase is limited." Lin Mohan's eyes showed disdain. The baptism of the Lost Star River needs to be completed in one go to achieve perfection. Doing it this way is putting the cart before the horse. It's really foolish. Lin Mohan spoke bluntly, and Lin Moyu chuckled, "Sister, don't speak such harsh truths." Listening to the siblings' conversation, Xu Jianxing's mouth twitched twice. His name is Dongfang Zi, a top genius in the Divine City. Lin Mohan showed no mercy. A top genius would do something like this? More like a top fool. Xu Jianxing smiled bitterly. Lin Shiji is joking. Dongfang Zi has a special talent. Although he only received part of the baptism, he can already harness some of the Lost Star River's power. And because of this talent, the 2-part baptism won't affect him much. Lin Moyu shook his head. Even the slightest flaw will become a disaster in the future. Lin Moyu had experienced a perfect ascension to the God King realm and knew this very well. Even the smallest oversight would be magnified infinitely as one's realm increased. Dongfang Zi relied on his talent to minimize the impact, but imperfection is still imperfection. Lin Mohan glanced at Xu Jianxing. "Your foundation is solid. Your future achievements will surpass Dongfang Zi's." Suddenly receiving praise, Xu Jianxing felt flattered. "Thank you, Fairy Han, for the compliment. I am well aware of my own limitations." Lin Moyu knew his sister's character. My sister never speaks lightly. Cultivation is not about who advances faster but who goes further. Xu Jianxing remembered their words deeply. The pressure from the dark cloud grew stronger, enveloping everyone, as if a giant hand was pressing down on them. This behavior was very impolite and showed the other party's arrogance. "How rude." Someone shouted angrily, releasing a powerful aura. Courting death, the people from the War God Hall reacted, their strong pressure rising to the sky. They had always been superior. When had they ever been treated this way? There were many little God Sovereigns present, none of whom feared anyone. Ha ha ha. A wild laugh came from the dark cloud, and the pressure suddenly increased. Dongfang Zi, relying on his own strength, confronted more than a dozen little God Sovereigns without showing any weakness. From the displayed strength, Dongfang Zi was indeed very strong. However, Lin Mohan's eyes still showed disdain, not taking Dongfang Zi seriously at all. As for Lin Moyu, he had killed many God Sovereigns, so someone like Dongfang Zi was nothing to him. Xu Jianxing stood by, his expression very serious. He was enduring the pressure from Dongfang Zi, and it was not easy. Lin Moyu lightly patted Xu Jianxing's shoulder, and Xu Jianxing's body trembled. All the pressure instantly receded like a tide, disappearing without a trace in the blink of an eye. He looked at Lin Moyu in shock. Such a casual action had fully demonstrated Lin Moyu's strength. Could it be that what Xu Shang said is true? Xu Jianxing had a bold guess, thinking that Xu Shang might not have been exaggerating. Lin Moyu smiled. "Are there many people like Dongfang Zi in the Divine City?" Xu Jianxing said, "The Divine City is strictly hierarchical, divided into outer, primary, intermediate, advanced, and top levels. Dongfang Zi is at the primary level, and among the primary level, he is a top genius. But compared to the intermediate level, he is still far behind. However, I have only heard about the intermediate level geniuses. I have never seen them. They rarely appear." Lin Moyu learned more about the Divine City, and his understanding of it became clearer. Lin Moyu said, he should be close to reaching the intermediate level. Xu Jianxing was surprised. How did Lin Shishang know? Lin Moyu smiled. It's not hard to guess. His high profile and aggressive behavior is likely to give us a strong impression of his power. His ultimate goal is to surpass us, thereby improving his status in the Divine City and gaining promotion. From the limited information, Lin Moyu had already deduced a lot. Xu Jianxing admired him. I didn't expect Lin Shishong, who hasn't entered the Divine City, to analyze this information. Truly impressive. Lin Mohan laughed. Little brother, you've become smarter. Lin Moyu sighed. No choice, the great world is like walking on thin ice. Lin Mohan flicked Lin Moyu's forehead with her jade hand. Don't act so old and wise. Remember how young you are. Facing his elder sister, Lin Moyu was truly helpless. The pressure in the sky finally receded. Both sides were evenly matched, and continuing would yield no results. In terms of pure pressure, Dongfang Zi had won. After all, they couldn't really fight, and competing with pressure was the limit. The little god sovereigns tacitly withdrew their pressure, and those who were not little god sovereigns breathed a sigh of relief. Under the pressure of the little god sovereigns, they were not comfortable. The dark cloud dispersed, revealing Dongfang Zi's true form. Dongfang Zi looked handsome and confident, with a slightly unruly aura that could captivate countless young girls. Dongfang Zi cupped his fists towards everyone. I apologize for any offense just now. Fellow disciples, please forgive me. His sudden politeness made it hard for others to get angry. Chu Shang snorted, if there's a chance, let's have a match. Dongfang Zi laughed, sure, when Chu Shang enters the Divine City, we can have a good fight. Lin Moyu gathered more information, realizing that it seemed possible to duel in the Divine City. Seeing Dongfang Zi's demeanor, he was even more certain that his previous actions were deliberate. Dongfang Zi's gaze swept over the crowd and fixed on Lin Mohan. When he saw Lin Moyu beside her, a trace of displeasure flashed in his eyes, but he didn't show it. He moved instantly to Lin Mohan, transforming into a gentleman. Fairy Han, long time no see. Lin Mohan remained indifferent. Have we met? Dongfang Zi's expression froze, then he forced a smile. 3 years ago, my master took me to visit Sword Orchid God Sovereign, and I had the honor of meeting Fairy Han. Lin Mohan responded with an, oh, did that happen? I don't remember. Dongfang Zi felt awkward. Perhaps Fairy Han was deeply engrossed in cultivation at the time. Lin Mohan remained expressionless. Let's consider it as having met. Do you have any business? Lin Mohan's demeanor was distant, keeping people at arm's length. Seeing Dongfang Zi's awkward expression, Lin Moyu found it somewhat amusing. He knew that Dongfang Zi had acted so arrogantly earlier partly to show off in front of Lin Mohan. However, the result was the opposite of what he intended. Instead of impressing her, he ended up looking like a clown. Dongfang Zi forced a smile through his embarrassment. It's nothing, just. Before he could finish, Lin Mohan interrupted, if it's nothing, then don't stand here and block my view of the match. Instinctively, Dongfang Zi stepped aside, making way. The situation became even more awkward. Dongfang Zi felt like he had become the center of attention, but not in a good way. He felt humiliated and disgraced. Everyone present was likely to enter the Divine City in the future, and they might spread today's events. Rumors would be impossible to contain. But if he did nothing, all his previous efforts would be in vain. He would truly become a laughingstock. His eyes darted around, and suddenly he called out loudly, is Lin Moyu here? His gaze was sharp, scanning the crowd. Dongfang Zi suddenly felt something was off. Why was everyone looking at him? No, they weren't looking at him, they were looking behind him. A clear voice came from behind, what do you want with me? Dongfang Zi turned abruptly and saw Lin Moyu. So, you're Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu looked at him as if he were an idiot. I haven't hidden my identity. Can't you check for yourself? Or are your eyes too high to see certain things? Seeing that Lin Moyu was ignoring him, Dongfang Zi's eyes flashed with displeasure. He found Lin Moyu increasingly annoying. Earlier, seeing Lin Moyu standing beside his beloved goddess, he had already disliked him. Now, his dislike grew even stronger. Dongfang Zi said coldly, I've heard you're ranked first in the 3 rankings of the Vermilion Birdstar domain, and even the Azure Sword God Sovereign praises you highly. But seeing you in person, you're quite disappointing. Lin Moyu seemed not to understand Dongfang Zi's insinuation and instead said to himself, so, Senior Azure Sword has successfully advanced to God Sovereign. That's good news. After saying this, he fell silent, making Dongfang Zi feel ignored again. Dongfang Zi was used to being the center of attention and had never experienced such disregard. He was angry but didn't know how to express it. Lin Moyu didn't respond to his provocations, as if he didn't understand the hidden hostility in Dongfang Zi's words. Is this guy an idiot? I've made it so obvious, and he still doesn't get it. Can we have a proper conversation? Dongfang Zi's face turned red and white, unsure whether to stay or leave. He received a lot of mocking glances, and in his heart, he shouted, Lin Moyu, before the 4-star domain competition, how about we have a match? I can suppress my cultivation to the 3rd rank of the God King realm. Lin Moyu flatly refused, not interested. If you have nothing else, please move aside. You're blocking my view of the match. Watch the match? Watch your sister's match, Dongfang Zi roared internally, almost losing his temper on the spot. He gritted his teeth, don't you understand what I'm saying? I'm challenging you. As soon as he finished speaking, a sharp sword light exploded in front of him. A burst of golden light erupted from Dongfang Zi's body, and amidst the roaring sound, he was sent flying into the air. Dongfang Zi's face changed dramatically. The one who had attacked him was Lin Mohan. Lin Mohan had suddenly attacked him, but why? There was no reason. Could it be? Dongfang Zi thought of many things in an instant. He wondered if the two of them had that kind of relationship, and his face turned extremely ugly. Lin Mohan stood with her sword. If you want to fight, you can fight me. No need to go to the Human Emperor Network, we can do it right here. Lin Mohan was extremely domineering. Behind her, a 7-colored long sword slowly rose, with delicate orchids engraved on the blade, looking very exquisite. The sword was an illusory image, yet it gave off a sharp feeling, making everyone's skin tingle as if being cut by sword energy. It's the 9 Heavens Orchid Sword, the inheritance of the Sword Orchid God Sovereign. I didn't expect Fairy Han to have comprehended the 9 Heavens Orchid Sword to the 7-colored level. Even the Sword Orchid God Sovereign only reached the 8-colored level. Fairy Han truly deserves to be the #1 genius of the younger generation in the White Tiger Star domain. Just the 9 Heavens Orchid Sword alone is enough to rival a God Sovereign. Everyone marveled, and some even egged her on. Fairy Han, beat him up. Don't hold back. From their words, Lin Moyu learned that the Sword Orchid God Sovereign was a very powerful figure in the White Tiger Star domain. Her inheritance was extremely strong, and Lin Mohan had fully inherited it, making her exceptionally powerful. Dongfang Zi looked at the heroic Lin Mohan and couldn't help but ask, why? Lin Mohan replied indifferently, didn't you want to fight? Dongfang Zi shook his head, I didn't want to fight you. Lin Mohan sneered, you want to fight my little brother? Then you have to get past my sword first. Little brother, she called him affectionately. Dongfang Zi's face turned even uglier. Then the crowd started mocking him. This guy is really funny. He wants to fight Fairy Han's little brother and then asks Fairy Han why. Doesn't he realize he's a little god sovereign trying to bully a 3rd-rank God King Jr.? How shameless. Fairy Han is also a little god sovereign. Now he doesn't dare to fight, does he? He wants to get close to Fairy Han but ends up bullying her little brother. What a fool. Every word pierced Dongfang Zi's ears. Dongfang Zi's expression became extremely colorful. Lin Moyu was actually Fairy Han's little brother. Only then did he notice Fairy Han's name, Lin Mohan. They were really siblings, not just close like siblings, but actual blood-related siblings. No wonder Lin Mohan stood up for her little brother. Dongfang Zi admired Lin Mohan but ended up bullying her little brother. How could he have done such a thing? For a moment, his emotions surged, and his face turned red, white, green, and blue. He had no face to stay any longer and turned into a stream of light, disappearing without a trace. Laughter erupted in the central square. Dongfang Zi's appearance had turned into a farce. This embarrassment would likely spread far and wide, even reaching the Divine City soon. Xu Jianxing didn't know what to say. Thinking about it, it seemed Lin Moyu was right. Whether in cultivation or today's events, Dongfang Zi's brain indeed didn't work well. Lin Mohan sheathed her sword, what a waste. Alright, Dongfang Zi's evaluation in Lin Mohan's eyes had dropped another level, from brainless to a waste. Anyway, Dongfang Zi's chances of pursuing Lin Mohan were now in the negative. Lin Moyu laughed, then I'll rely on you to protect me from now on, sis. Lin Mohan rolled her eyes at him, handle your own affairs. You're a grown man, do you want to be a waste too? Lin Moyu was completely speechless. In front of his sister, it was better to stay quiet. Xu Jianxing stood by, looking like he wanted to laugh but didn't dare, making for an amusing sight.